Adin Ross.
What does this mean? Rolex.
Wow.
We think you should put $1 million in this.
Just bought crypto live on his live stream with FaZe Banks and sent the price of one token up over $100 million with one click. I'm gonna explain to you what this token is, why they're so confident it's gonna go over $1 billion, and my personal strategy for playing it in this market. If you're new to the channel, I'm Matt. This is Idiot Genius, place where I make crypto simple, so make sure you subscribe, hit the bell to turn on notifications, and let's jump right in. All right, so first, what is this token? It's called MLG, and it stands for Major League Gaming, but they make sure to say that they're not officially associated with Major League Gaming. So it's kind of this parody loophole that they're using here. Now, if we come to the Twitter, you'll see they got 23,000 followers. They got a little fan-made website, nothing fancy, a lot of gaming clips on here. But what's really important about this token that you need to know is if we look at the chart, you'll notice it goes back. And there's this massive spike here, right, that happened in the beginning of January, but this token was actually created a lot further back. We're going all the way back to October, May, right? Like this token has been around for a while and it literally sat at zero for months and months and months and months before FaZe Banks initially picked it up, started talking about it, and then we got this massive explosion up to 100 million. So the reason this is important is one, it means that FaZe and the guys did not create the token. It was already created, which is way different than when a celebrity creates a meme coin about themselves. They own 80% of the supply and they kind of can manipulate it and then just dump it on you, right? This coin's been out for a while. It's been traded. Banks said publicly he owns 0.6% of the supply, which is about $700,000 at the current prices. So they're not controlling a huge percentage of the supply like you see in other celebrity meme coins. The other thing that's interesting is this is actually a pretty solid chart, right? We saw this massive spike up. We see these sell-offs, which is natural. Another retest to the all-time high, a lower sell-off, but now we've kind of seen this stabilization between the 100 million, this is down to like 75 million here, up to about 150 million, which is still a big swing, but considering how crazy the markets have been lately, this actually is pretty solid and stable for a meme coin, and we're seeing this $100 million level kind of be a strong level of support right here now that this resistance flipped into. And so at this point, you have a lot of diehard holders, and so at this point, a lot of the people that made these initial big gains have probably sold out. New holders are coming in off of FaZe and Adin and the rest of the guys. And so this is a pretty solid coin, especially considering that it's a meme coin. Now, if you look at the tweet here, this is Adin Ross's crypto profile, and he said, sucks y'all sold MLG at 240 mil. It's going to $1 billion one day easy. And so let's look at what happened when Adin Ross went on live stream. And this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen, honestly. This was the chart, right? So we've been up here around 0.15, come all the way back down to around 0.075. So a 50% drawdown in a few days, which again, the rest of the meme coin market was down 80-90%, so this actually isn't that crazy. But what we started to see here is some rumors that Adin Ross might be ready to buy crypto, and they've been hinting at this for a while. FaZe had been putting up posts being like, I'm the one that's advising Adin, he's not doing anything without me, and FaZe is a really big fan and holder of MLG, so there were some rumors that he might be buying it. But when we saw the stream actually start, and it's funny, on the stream they have this whole whiteboard with this plan, and I have to say, after watching the stream, like, these guys get a lot of hate for being an insider trading group and a cabal and pump and dumpers, all this type of stuff. But if you compare this to all the other A-list celebrities that came in the space, launched a meme coin, took that money and literally just ran and scammed people, these guys are doing it right. Like, they're actually educating him on what to do. They have a real thesis behind what they're doing. Some of these guys like Orangey and Frank Thread, like, they've been in the trenches trading. They really know what they're doing, and their wallets are public. Like, their wallets are being tracked, right? So, you know, as much as you can hate on them and say like they're pumping dumping and stuff, like, they're doing it better than 99.99% of people that are coming in as far as giving to the space and not just extracting money and taking it. So I love that they're educating Adin on what's going on and not just telling him buy this, buy that, right? But let's look at what actually happened when he bought. So this spike right here, we zoom in, this went from 0.08, which you can always figure out on these meme coins, it's $1 billion supply. So this is a $85 million market cap, and it jumped all the way up to 240 mil in one click of a button. Boom, right? This is probably like an hour or two that it went up, but this last spike was from 1.5, and I was watching my phone when this thing jumped up $100 million in literally 1 second. And I don't know how much Adin bought, but it wasn't that much. much, but it was people saw his buy come in and they just bought, boom, shot it all the way up and then immediately dumped it. So when you see stuff like this, a lot of times people get freaked out and they're like, oh my God, it's dumping, it's going crazy. Now, this is just people that are really smart, that knew how to play this event. They knew he was going on stream. They knew he was probably gonna buy this because of the association with FaZe Banks. So they were waiting for it and they dumped to take their profits, right? But what we saw after is that it has settled here and now we're back at this $100 million level. All right, so why do I think this could actually go to $1 billion and what's my strategy here? First of all, you have really good cultural alignment here. FaZe and Banks obviously aligned around gaming. That's their culture, that's what they do. And so pairing up with what is the #1 gaming meme coin right now makes total sense. Second of all, they have a completely new audience that's not into crypto yet, especially Adin Ross, right? He's introducing tokens to a whole new generation, a whole new type of person, type of viewer that watches his live streams and loves him, and they will buy what he suggests, what he talks about, what he holds. So as this new money comes in and they have a choice between coins that 50-year-olds are talking about on the news or this cool coin that's tied to gaming that Adin Ross and FaZe Banks like, this is going to be way more attractive to them. Plus it's on Solana, so it's really easy to get, it's cheap to buy, gas fees are basically zero, so there's a lot of ease in the onboarding that really makes sense here. And then lastly, and this is one of the most important things, Adin talked about how he wants to make the biggest GTA 6 server with Banks and he wants to incorporate crypto in some type of way, right? And the reason this is so important, whether or not he can involve MLG in the game specifically or whatever, the fact that he's making claims on stream about how he's gonna make the biggest GTA 6 server, he's incorporating crypto. He said multiple times, like, I'm doing crypto the right way. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm not selling this. I'm not dumping on anybody. Like, I'm here to stay. And he did it live on stream with 5-6 other guys in the room all saying the same thing. What this does is it makes it so that if they sell now, right, if they stop talking about this, it's gonna look really bad on them. And everyone in this space, if you're a creator, if you're a gamer or trader and you're doxxed, meaning people know who you are, they know your face, your name, your Twitter, your reputation is the most important thing to you, right? So if this coin does end up going to $1 billion, how good do Adin Ross and FaZe Banks and the guys that said, guys, hold, we're gonna make this our focus, this is the gamer coin, and everyone's like, nah, you guys are capping, and it goes to $1 billion. How good does that feel? How good does that make them look? How much money do they make their fans, right? There's so much upside versus if this token goes down, they're gonna look like idiots. If they sell, they're gonna look like they were scammers, right? And they're gonna carry that weight with them. So right now, the risk reward, the upside to downside is heavily favored for them to pump this coin, to hold this coin, to convince other people to get in on this coin. And I have a really good example of exactly where that happened. If you look right here, so if you look here, this is Crypto God John. He's a huge trader in the space. He advises a lot of people and he puts his money where his mouth is when he believes in projects. And look what he said, just a 230 grand, that's cash, into MLG. Banks and Adin plan on launching a huge GTA server when GTA 6 launches, expecting more gamers and streamers to join in on the gaming hype as crypto heats up. Wouldn't be surprised to see this at billions. And Crypto God John is one of the best traders on Twitter in this space, and you have to understand how this hype is starting to compile, right? You start to get more and more people coming in, putting their money where their mouth is. They're not gonna sell and they're gonna tell other people to do the same thing. I've personally made a lot of money by following this narrative, and as funny as it is, following the egos of people that are really powerful, because the ego is a crazy thing. These guys are winners. They've won at gaming, they've won at streaming, and now they want to win at crypto. So what am I doing? What's my personal strategy here? Well, if you look at the chart, there is still a lot of potential downside, right? Like, I'm saying that it's looking relatively stable, but that is for a meme coin, and as we know, meme coins are crazy risky still. So I'm not blowing a full stack into this like John did. 230K is crazy, but man's got millions to just throw around, so that's no big deal to him, right? But what I am doing is every time I see one of these corrections, these small dips, I'm adding a little bit more. I'm DCAing in because I think anything under about 0.12 is still a pretty good buy here. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit today around 0.1. If this dips down to 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, wherever, if we get a retest down here, I'm gonna pick up a good amount, right? I'm just keeping an eye on it and watching, because now that we had that huge hype event, John bought, Adin bought, all all these people bought, there is a chance that this sort of settles down and it comes back and it gets a little boring here for a while. So I would really look to scoop down here if it gets back below this like 0.076 range. But what I think is gonna happen is things might get boring for a second. This down below this 0.083 range. But what happens is things get boring for a second and then boom, a big announcement comes out. So it's really hard to time these things. And most of the time, if you try to time it, you'll miss it. So obviously this is still a meme coin. It's super risky, right? All of this is just speculation and theories. Everyone could sell and this could go to zero. Totally possible. So remember that when you're playing around with meme coins, they are super, super risky. I'm only putting in money that I'm completely willing to lose. Obviously that would suck. No one likes to lose money, but like I'm gambling small here, right? Not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but what I'm personally doing is accumulating in this range, like around 0.1, I think is still a good buy. But if this gets down below 0.9 into this range, 0.08, 0.07, that's where I'm really gonna start to put in more buys. And there is a good chance, because we had this huge event here, it was so exciting, the stream, the buys, that we kind of get boring for a bit, right? And if we get boring for a bit and we start to do this is where I'm really gonna look to accumulate, because I know at some point, banks and the guys, like someone's gonna come out with an announcement and we're gonna at the very least get back up into this range, right? We'll retest this 0.16, 0.17, maybe we get back up into the 0.2s, and then hopefully as gaming narrative starts to pick up, which I think could be summer, maybe even fall, like a ways out, that's when we could get the massive spikes up to 1 billion like they're claiming and hoping for. So for me, this is a longer hold. This is not like I'm gonna buy it and flip it tomorrow, because remember, this coin has been around forever. In meme coin life, like 6 months is literally forever. So this is a longer play, longer hold. Be safe with your investments. Don't do anything crazy here. Just telling you guys what I'm doing and what I'm looking out for based on my experience, especially with celebrities, streamers, creators, and knowing how things go. So if you like this video, if you got some value from it, drop a like, subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Would love to get to know my crypto audience a little bit better on here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.